This is Kermit the Frog here. It is so wonderful to be talking to all you daily news readers, and I'll try to answer all those questions.
The first question comes from Joe Welter. Yep. Kermit, I have been a big fan since 1983, and I noticed that you have not aged much since then. What is your secret?
Well, Joe, I have only one real secret, and that is to stay moist. Moisture is very important, not only for frogs, but I assume you are a human being. Stay moist. And the best way to do that, I found, is to soak in pond scum. Yeah, nice, green, slimy pond scum.
I'm Cristina from Singapore. I'm here for a tour. And my question is, do you have a girlfriend? Can I be your girlfriend?
Wow. Obviously, Christine, you must not know about a certain pig that I've been dating for 30 years. So I'm afraid I do have a girlfriend. Although, how long are you in town? She's not here today. Maybe we could have coffee.
Next one is from Michael Walsh.
Okay.
How has New York City changed since you were here for the Muppets Take Manhattan in the 1980s?
Oh, you know, everything has changed since I was here for Muppets Take Manhattan. The whole place. I think New Yorkers have gotten friendlier. I meet so many wonderful people on the street, and I don't get confused for a fire hydrant anymore. That's nice. But yeah, many things have changed. Most particularly the date.
Hi, I'm Savin from Livingston, New Jersey. Has it gotten any easier being green?
Jesse, I will tell you, back when I first sung that song back in the late 60s, it was all about being comfortable in your own skin. And that has certainly gotten easier. I am much more mature than I was then as a frog. I also think these days it's not that easy. Being green has become about the environment as much as anything, which I'm all in favor of taking care of the environment because I am quite low on the food chain, you see. And I'm right down there next to the environment in places where people don't even get. So it's easier, but it's still a challenge.
This question comes from Deanne Rose. I would love to know what Robin, your nephew, has been up to.
Well, that's a great question, Deanne. Robin is aging gracefully, just as am I. It runs in our family. He's still somehow only about 6 years old and spending most of his time halfway up the stairs, just as he did back on the Muppet Show, if you remember that song. But he's going to be a teenager soon. I think he'll probably find his own friends, and he probably won't even call his old Uncle Kermit anymore.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'm from California. And I want to know, Kermit, who did you date before Miss Piggy?
Lauren, this is Kermit. I'd like to answer your question about who I dated before Miss Piggy. And the truth is, Miss Piggy was the first time I dated outside my own species. Before that, it was all frogs, and frankly, they all look alike.
Kermit, does sitting in the office of a major newspaper make you want to put the trench coat back on and be Sesame Street's fast-breaking news reporter again?
You know, I must say that being here at the Daily News, it does make me kind of want to get out there and be a journalist again. I always enjoy wearing the trench coat, especially in New York in the wintertime. I'm usually naked and it's very cold. So yes, I would say I am quite motivated to do that.
My name is Lindsay Zaroogian. I'm from Geneva, New York. And Kermit, I was wondering what your favorite candy is.
Oh, you know, there are so many wonderful candies out there. I like the ones that have the bugs in them. They're like, there's all these candies that look like bugs, like flies and ants, and those gummy worms. Oh, a frog's delight.
This is movie related. Kermit, This is from Jen. Kermit, how are you coping with your recent identity theft? That must have been quite traumatic for you.
Yes, Jen, identity theft is a tough issue in this country, even for frogs. There's just fraud out there everywhere. Protect your identity. And if you see someone coming up to you who looks exactly like you with a mole on their face, watch out, because they're the worst.
Hi, I'm Morgan Hook. I am from Manhattan, Kansas. And Kermit, do you have a special talent? Do you play an instrument or anything?
Hey Morgan, you know, you may not realize that I am quite an excellent player of the 5-string banjo. It's quite challenging. I have to be able to move my fingers very quickly. I've been working on it for years, but Steve Martin's a buddy of mine. We share pointers. Yeah, I play the banjo. I do. And I used to tickle the ivories too, but mostly the banjo.
This next question comes from Naomi. Do you experience any anti-frog prejudice in Hollywood as an against-type leading man? Wow,
Naomi, that is an excellent question. There is actually quite a bit of prejudice against frogs in Hollywood. I don't quite understand it. We've always been ignored by the Academy. Somehow there's no category for best amphibian in a leading role. And frankly, that could be because I'm the only one. But yes, I do experience it. It's very hard to find roles for short green frogs in Hollywood.
Hi, my name is Paul Ng. I'm from Singapore. So I have a question for Kermit. Dude, how old are you?
Hi, Paul. You know, I am actually getting close to 60, but as we all know, 60 is the new 40. Or in my case, I think it's different in people years than frog years, so I'm convinced that it's actually 30.
This is a recurring question from a lot of readers. This one is from Shonda.
Okay.
Okay, will there ever be another Muppets TV show?
Shonda, that is a great question. Will there ever be another Muppets TV show? Ever is a very long time. So I think there's a good chance that could happen. You know, we're just about to do this new film, Muppets Most Wanted, and if that film does well, I think there's a good chance we will try to do more television.
Hi, Kermit. I'm Perry Desmond-Davies from Boston, and I would like to know how you keep your froggish figure.
Well, Perry, it's not difficult for a frog to maintain a froggish figure. What would be difficult is for me to maintain like the figure of a bird or maybe some other animal. We're shaped like this. I am an average shape. I'm not like I don't have a six-pack here, but you know, I try to stay in shape. I do yoga. I stretch every morning. I do breathing exercises. You know, and I just try to eat healthy. Lots of high protein. Lots of mosquitoes. It works very well.
This is from Yvette Murray. Will you ever marry Miss Piggy?
Ooh, Yvette, you are not the only one to ask this question about will I ever marry Miss Piggy. You know, I mean, it's hard to say if ever will happen. It's a long time. Piggy and I have been a couple, a committed couple, for maybe 30 years. You know, and that's a long time. I think that says something about the strength of my willingness to commit. But what is marriage? Let's be philosophical. It is simply a piece of paper, a representation of one's love for one another. And with Piggy, I have to represent that like every hour on the hour.
If you could be any character in Game of Thrones, which one would you be?
Well, Rose, coincidentally, I have been told by others that I am a bit like Jon Snow. Of course, Snow would be white, I am green. But nonetheless, I think it's because he's rather noble, he's quite good looking, and I get to spend a lot of time with you. Sounds like fun.
How can he stay loyal to Miss Piggy when she's so high maintenance?
Well, Gersh, you know, staying loyal to a high-maintenance pig is something that I've learned to do over the course of time. It's not always easy, but, you know, life isn't always easy. And frankly, staying loyal to her is partially because of that maintenance. I really feel I don't have a lot of choice.
My name is Bjarne Hallquist, coming from Sweden, and I'm wondering where the Swedish chef are. Do you know that, Kermit?
Well, Bjorn, I love saying your name. The Swedish chef is actually over videotaping an episode of The Chew, which I also love to say, Chew. And because, you know, he's quite an honored, celebrated, consummate chef. And they really needed somebody who would make a giant mess. So they called him.
Why, Kermit, why do you sound exactly like Carl Sagan? Or is it that Carl Sagan sounds exactly like you?
Well, Bernard, the reason that Carl and I sound alike is because we are one and the same.
Hi, my name is Bobby Harris from Manhattan. I asked you a question, Kermit, may I ask you a question? The question is this, Kermit. What are your parents' names?
Well, Bobby, that's easy. My parents' names are Mr. and Mrs. the Frog.
This is from K. Crum.
Mm-hmm.
What has global warming done for his frog pond?
Well, Kay, global warming is a serious issue, but I have to say where I come from, it just made my swamp more tolerable, because now I don't freeze when I'm laying out there at night. Hey everybody, I want to thank you all for the excellent questions. This has been a lot of fun, and this is Kermit the Frog signing off from the New York Daily News.